Hello everyone, welcome back to the next video. In this video I will show you how you can display front camera and back camera simultaneously or concurrently in Expo React Native application for Android using Camera X. So let's get started. First I'll show you guys the output, what I mean by this. So I'll just play this video. I have already recorded the video. So first I'll just give it the camera permission. So once I have given the camera permission, here you can see I'm able to show the front camera to you. Now there is one interesting thing. The back camera is over here on the left hand side top corner, and the take photo button is also on the left hand side top corner. Now this is an issue with React Native, so let me explain it to you. I'm using the same code which I was using on native Android. It works perfectly fine. So what I was trying to do is I was trying to move this back camera on the bottom left hand side, on the bottom right hand side, and the take photo button at the bottom center side. Now that code works perfectly fine in native Android. It works in Flutter as well. Now if you are using React Native CLI, if you have watched my video, the take photo button comes perfectly fine at the bottom, but in Expo React Native it messes up completely. Now this is an Expo bug. I have tried multiple ways. Unfortunately I'm not able to fix it. I think the only solution would be to remove constraint layout. I'm using constraint layout and replace it with either relative layout or frame layout, but I'm really tired to do that. So yeah, you can try it on your own. So I'll just play the video. Here you can see I'm moving my camera and it should be so I have just clicked on take photo and it has captured the front camera. Now just to let you know that instead of displaying the front camera which occupies the whole screen, you can replace it with back camera as well, and replace this back camera with front camera as well. And instead of capturing the front camera while clicking on take photo, you can capture the back camera as well. So there is no constraint as such. So let's see how to get started. So first you have to go to this particular URL, and here I have, so let me just show it to you. And here I'm using this black TypeScript template. You can use whatever template you feel like. The blank TypeScript has less boilerplate code, so that's why. And to create a project using blank TypeScript template, you can just run this particular command. So I have already ran that command. Once you run the command and give it some project name, you can just cd into your project. Then like I said, we will be writing native code. We are not using any third-party library because there is no third-party library which can achieve this for us. That's why. So you need to come over here. So select Android device, select development build. If you want to enable EAS, you can do that. I am building it locally. Select your own operating system. I'm on macOS. Have to install Watchman. You have to install Cas Zulu. I have already done all this. I have set Java Home. I have already installed Android Studio as well. Done all the setup. So I have already done this as well, then you need to cd into your Expo React Native application and then run this particular command. Once you run this command, then you need to run this command. So once you run this command, it will create an Android folder like this for you. So you should see this Android folder. It will also ask you, do you want to run the application? Do not run it now, because once I have written the code, then you can run it. Otherwise you will have to rerun it from scratch. Hot refresh, fast refresh will not work for this because we are writing native code. So that's why. Once that is done, we need to create a module as well. So then you can come to this documentation and just run this command. So this will ask you 3 questions, like what should be the module name and everything. I have just kept everything as default. Just press enter 3 times, enter, and it will create a module for you like this. So this modules folder. Okay, now I will just close my cheat sheet. So first let's see how to get started. First go to app.tsx. You have to add all these imports. Okay, if you have named your module differently, you will have to change this imports accordingly. Then here we have this image URL state, one state for camera permission granted or not. Here I'm just checking whether the user is using Android 10 or higher, because for Android 10 and higher we don't need the right external storage permission. Then here we call this request camera and storage permission. If platform.os is equal to Android, okay, then depending on version of Android, we either request camera or we request both of this permission. Then here we just check whether permissions was granted, and depending on whether the permission was granted or not, we set the state over here as well. Then inside use effect, we just call request camera and storage permission. Then once if image URI is not equal to empty, we display the image using this image React Native element. And if we have the camera permission, we display the camera using my module view. Once the user captures the image, we get the data over here and we set it to our image URI state, and else we just display camera permission not granted if the user does not grant our permissions, and these are the styles for it. Next you need to go to Android, go to app, src main, android manifest.xml, and by default like when I created the Expo React Native project, it already had this write external storage permission. If you don't have this, make sure you add this permission. Then you have this uses feature of Android hardware camera as well as this particular camera permission. Okay, then close this, go to modules, go to src my module.type.ts, and here I have made few changes. So firstly, I am not passing any prop, so I have completely commented this out, and instead of this on load event, I have renamed it as on image taken. That's why I have commented this 2 lines out. Okay, and now don't get confused with this particular URL with this URL. So this URL is our return type, like the image URL which we get. This particular URL is a prop, so that's why I have commented this out. So hopefully you got the point. Next you need to go to the Android build.gradle file, and important thing is you need to update the minimum SDK version. So I have updated the minimum SDK version to 24. So this is very important. Update the mini SDK version over here, then go to Android app, build.gradle over here, and update the min SDK version over here as well. So make sure you change the min SDK version to 24 over here as well. This is very important. Then come over here, scroll down, inside dependencies so at the time of me recording, the camera X 1.5.0 dependency still in RC stage. We require 1.5.0. we can't use a lesser version than this because 1.5.0 has this concurrent camera feature. So if it does become stable, you can just remove this RC01. okay, but currently it is not, so still in RC01, that's why I'm using it like this. So you need to add camera core, camera 2, camera lifecycle, camera view, camera extension as well, then this app compat dependency as well as constraint layout dependency. Then you need to go to src java my module.kt, and here just scroll down, and here again I have made few changes. So firstly, we don't accept a prop, so I have commented this lines of code, and instead of this events on load, I have commented out we require the events on image taken. So that's what I have used. Then here we have this my module view.kt. again these are all the imports, so I'll simply scroll through this file. Feel free to pause the video and just copy all these imports. Nothing to really explain about the import. Then we have this event dispatcher for sending data from native Android side to React Native side or Expo side. Then here we get hold of our activity. Here we set our constraint layout. Then here we set the capture button. Here is the primary and secondary camera selector. Here is our image capture. Here we initialize camera executor. Then the viewfinder 1 displays the front camera, viewfinder 2 displays the back camera. Like I said, you can use viewfinder 1 for displaying the back camera as well, viewfinder 2 for displaying front camera as well. Then here we set the layout params for our constraint layout, which okay, I think I know what was causing the issue. Maybe instead of setting constraint layout like this, I should set it like this. I think I forgot. I just copy pasted it. Maybe this might help you fix the particular issue which I showed you at the start. Maybe I'll run it at the very end and show you guys the output in case if it is fixed. If not, then I will not show you. Then here we set the constraint set, we add it to our constraint layout. Then here we do viewfinder 1, set the ID for it, and here we call install hierarchy fitter, passing the viewfinder 1. okay, I'll come back to this what exactly this does in a bit. Then here we pass viewfinder 1, then here we set the constraint layout for this as well. Okay, so again I'll simply scroll through this. Then here is our viewfinder 2, and here we call install hierarchy fitter 2. Here I am passing 300 by 300 width and height, and here we are constraining. Here you can see right hand side bottom. Then here we have this setting the capture button ID, text as well, and background color as well as text color. Then we add the capture button to our add view, and here we set the constraint for our this as well, for our capture button as well. So it is on the bottom center. Then here we apply the constraint set to our constraint layout. Then we do capture button dot set on click listener called take photo. Then here we override on attach to window, and we do viewfinder dot one dot post start camera, and on detach we shut down our camera execute. Now coming back to this, why we are doing this. So this is basically a hack which we need to do. If you don't do this, you will see a black screen, you will not see your live camera preview. And here you can see, if you want to read more about it, you can go to this particular URL over here. Now for our second viewfinder, which is only 300 by 300, I have to change it a little bit. So here you need to pass 300 by 300. Our first viewfinder was occupying enter width and height, right? That's why we can pass measured height and measured width over here. But here you need to pass 300 by 300 because our viewfinder 2 was 300 by 300. So depending on that, you will have to change it over here as well. Then here we have the start camera, where we get the aspect ratio strategy. Here is our resolution selector. Here we get the camera provider feature, and here we add a listener to it as well. Then here we do process camera provider. Here we get hold of our default back camera. Then we just loop over it. And if you want the back facing camera for our primary camera selector, then here instead of lens facing front, you will have to write lens facing back, and here instead of lens facing back, you have to write lens facing front. So it's up to you how do you want to do it. Here we initialize primary and secondary camera selector, and if they are null, then we make it as null, else we break it. And if either one of them is null, then we display a toast message saying that your device does not support concurrent cameras. Then we hide our viewfinder 2. Then I just display the front camera. You can show your viewfinder 2 as well, but it will be just a black screen. It will not display anything because your device does not support it. Then we initialize our preview view. We initialize our image capture, unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle. If your device does support concurrent cameras, then we initialize the primary preview, we initialize the secondary preview, we initialize our image capture as well, we initialize our primary group, we initialize our secondary group. Now here you can see inside primary group I have added this image capture, so that's why it was taking the front camera picture when I click on take photo. But instead of this, you can add this particular as well, add use case for your secondary group if you want it for back camera. So it's up to you. Now this particular primary thing and secondary thing I don't really understand. Like I have copy pasted it from the documentation, so feel free to copy paste it. So here I think we are just setting the alpha, offset, scale and build. So it's up to you how you want to set it. Then here we just unbind our camera provider, we bind it to the life cycle. Okay, then here we have this take photo method. So first we define the name for it. Then using content values, we set the display name, MIME type, and if Android version greater than P, we also set the relative path. Then here we do image capture dot output file options. Then we do image capture dot take picture. We override on error as well as on image saved. And here we give the URI of the saved image back to Expo React Native side using this on image taken. This is just a helpful method whether just to check whether we have the camera permissions or not, and these are just the file variables which we have defined. Okay, so let me quickly run the application again just to see whether that particular thing, maybe it was a mistake from my side and I was quite blaming React Native for it. Let's see. But at least in like React Native CLI example or tutorial which I have made, it was still not working. The button was like laid out at the proper position on the bottom center, but the back camera was still placing at the top left hand side. So let's see what happens with Expo React Native. So I'll quickly show you the output and close the video. So if you have any comments, do let me know in the if you have any questions, do let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. Next, to fix the issue to a great extent, so let me show you guys the updated output. So this is the updated output which I have got. So here you can see I was able to place the button at the bottom, but unfortunately the second or the back camera view is still at the top left corner. I wanted, like, via my code I have tried to place it at the bottom right side corner, but unfortunately I was not able to do it. Like I said, this is the output. So let's see. I have made a couple of changes, sorry about that. So firstly is here you need to add constraint layout dot layout params. Previously I was just doing layout params equal to, then it uses the parent view which is the Expo view. We have to do constraint layout dot layout params. Second important thing which I forgot was I need to add the constraint layout to our parent view. This particular line I completely forgot. Then there are other lines which I forgot, which was here while adding this particular viewfinder one, you have to do constraint layout dot add view. I previously just did add view, which added it to the parent view and not to the constraint layout. So make sure you add this constraint layout dot. Same mistake I did for viewfinder 2 as well, constraint layout dot add view viewfinder 2, and same issue for button as well. So if you see constraint layout dot add view capture button. So yeah, that's all the mistakes which I did. Sorry about that, but yeah, that's it. Thank you for watching. Bye.